Hello, and thank you for your interest in the Foundation for Black Communities Ontario Youth Wellness Grant. We're happy to provide you with this recorded version of our recent webinar. For more information on upcoming events and granting opportunities, please visit our website at forblackcommunities.org or contact one of our staff today. Here's an overview of the topics we'll cover in this video. The main objective of this video is to ensure that you have a better understanding of FFBC, how our grant making works, and the Ontario Youth Wellness Grant. Of course, should you have additional questions that are not answered in this video, you can contact us directly for more information or an in-depth conversation about your project. The story of FFBC started with the report, Unfunded: How Black Communities Are Overlooked by Canadian Philanthropy. This report includes the first systematic empirical examination of the extent to which Canadian philanthropy has failed to respond to the unique and intersectional challenges facing Black communities. The research report was prepared in partnership with Carleton University's Philanthropy and Nonprofit Leadership Program and the Network for the Advancement of Black Communities. Although many Black people and Black organizations have long known that Canadian philanthropy has underinvested in Black communities, for the first time, this gross underinvestment had been quantified. The report's key findings can be summarized in 2 points. 1. Canadian foundations woefully underfund Black-serving and Black-led community organizations, with the research concluding that only 7 cents of every $100 invested in Canadian philanthropic institutions is going to Black-led organizations. And 2, at the heart of systemic underinvestment is the lack of relationships with and representation of Black communities in Canadian philanthropy. In the fall of 2020, to accompany the unfunded report, FFBC did a national needs assessment, surveying 110 Black-led serving and focused organizations. Here you can see some of the key findings of that survey. These consultations further validated the findings of the report, identifying that 2/3 of consulted groups have less than 6 months of funding remaining before they have to shut their doors and cease support for their communities. The reality is, at a time when Black community organizations are needed the most, many are closing their doors. So what can be done about it? The report includes 2 key recommendations captured here. 1. The not-for-profit and philanthropic leaders that were interviewed unanimously supported the development of a Black-led foundation in Canada. 2. They saw the potential of a Black-led foundation to transform how philanthropy engages with and supports Black communities, leading to a fundamental and lasting shift in power. That is how the Foundation for Black Communities came to be created. Today, we exist as Canada's first ever Black-led philanthropic foundation dedicated to investing directly into Black communities and the initiatives that matter to them. The FFBC is not a replacement for the improved efforts of individual organizations. Instead, it's intended to be a partner, convener, and coordinator to ensure that Black communities and Black priorities continue to be on the agenda as we seek to create a fair, more equitable philanthropic center that is truly responsive to the needs of Black communities. Here you can see the type of work that we do. The diverse and vital Black communities in Canada should be seen, celebrated, and supported in defining their own futures. We connect change makers within Canadian philanthropic, political, and business leaders to ensure that Black-led and Black-serving organizations have sustained resources to make meaningful impact. We spark change from research and awareness to policy action. We champion the knowledge, energy, and ideas that live in Black communities. It is important for us to take advantage of the current momentum to build long-term, durable investments in Black communities across Canada that will withstand the changing winds of public sentiment and philanthropic focus or government priorities. Here's a brief overview of the work that we're doing in various regions of Canada. 2022 marks the launch of our formal granting program. The Ontario Youth Wellness Grant Explore Stream is our pilot funding program, and the lessons we learned from this granting deadline will inform the rollout of our national grant-making program. Please stay tuned as we will announce details for our upcoming grant cycles on our website and through our mailing lists. Before I talk about the specifics of the Ontario Youth Wellness Grant Explore Stream, I would like to say a few words about how FFBC funds. FFBC's approach to funding is trust-based and participatory. Trust-based means we trust Black people are capable of being leaders and equal partners in development of the solutions to the unique challenges facing Black communities. This means our funding is focused on learning with and from Black communities about the best solutions and opportunities for Black Canadians. Participatory means our vision, mandate, and priorities are driven by Black people and by Black communities. We believe in empowering the Black community in every aspect of our grant making. All of the decisions of our grants will be made by Black leaders, Black groups, and B3 organizations. Currently, we have two funding streams. The Explore stream is focused on funding Black initiatives in a way that de-emphasizes their adherence to traditional organizational structure and centralizes their impact on well-being of their communities. We encourage unincorporated Black groups and individual Black leaders to partner with any incorporated not-for-profit or charity to access FFBC funding to lead or support important work happening in their community. Through this stream, FFBC will support Black communities in learning from each other and increasing the capacity of the Canadian not-for-profit and charitable sector to acknowledge, value, and support the important work being done by Black communities that have organized and mobilized in different ways in spite of systemic barriers to accessing wealth. The Stabilize and Build stream is focused on directly responding to the historic and continued underfunding of Black-led, Black-focused, and Black-serving not-profit and charitable organizations. This stream is focused on stabilizing the programming, operations, and infrastructure of B3 organizations and allowing them to build towards greater presence, capacity, and impact. This stream seeks to support incorporated B3 organizations with building programming and core organizational structures needed to meet the demands of existing funding opportunities. Through this stream, FFBC will work with Black communities to learn more about how to best support the development of B3 organizations that deliver programs and services to Black people throughout Canada. This brings us to our current funding opportunity, the Ontario Youth Wellness Grant. In partnership with MLSE Foundation, we are proud to announce our support for Black communities exploring ideas, projects, structures, and systems that positively impact youth wellness through sport and recreation in Ontario's Black communities. The eligibility criteria for the Explore stream of the Ontario Youth Wellness Grant is available on our website at forblackcommunities.org. Funding to a maximum of $25,000 per grant for a maximum of 12-month period is available to all Black-led, Black-focused, and Black-serving not-for-profit and charitable organizations, Black collaboratives, unincorporated Black-led, Black-focused, and Black-serving groups, and individual Black leaders. A note, unincorporated groups will require an incorporated partner. More on this later in the presentation. The initiatives funded by the Ontario Youth Wellness Grant must demonstrate impact on youth wellness through sport and recreation, and initiatives must be focused on Black youth in Ontario. Here are some definitions. We know there are different contexts and realities for Black organizations and Black communities in Canada. FFBC's grant making takes a community-informed, iterative, and learning-focused approach. These definitions are meant to provide broad frames for understanding these concepts. All of these definitions are available on our website at forblackcommunities.org. Here are some examples of the type of initiatives that can be funded with the Ontario Youth Wellness Grant Explore stream. A youth-led B3 organization conducts a feasibility study for a new youth recreation program in their community. A group of Black parents explore the creation of a not-for-profit organization to support their youth book club and reading program. A Black community leader holds a summit to discuss the impact of COVID-19 on the availability of sports and recreation in their community. A charitable organization receives funds to run a drumming program for Black newcomers in their community. Eligible expenses fall into three broad categories. Staffing costs. These include salaries, mandatory employment-related costs, and employee benefits for staff positions funded specifically to carry out the project. Non-staffing costs. Purchased services, for example, consultants or cleaning services. These can include workshop costs, meeting costs, convening costs, supplies and materials, evaluation, travel, and equipment. And finally, overhead and administration. Things like rent or utilities. FFBC will support overhead administrative costs related to the project. Ineligible expenses include capital campaigns, direct financial support of for-profit enterprises, endowments, expenses unrelated to the project, partisan political activities, and projects established for a religious purpose or religious activities, projects outside of Ontario, and retroactive funding. Our grant portal is open for applications. The deadline for submitting applications is on Monday, August 1st, 2022 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of our funding decisions will be announced by October 2022. We will now take a look at the three-step process for application to the Ontario Youth Wellness Grant. Step 1. Visit the FFBC website at forblackcommunities.org. There, under the Grants tab at the top center of the page, you'll be able to get more information about our available grants and access our granting portal through the Apply Today button. Step 2. Once in our grants portal, you'll be asked to create a username and a password and complete the details of your organization profile. In the organization profile section, you'll be asked about the type of applicant you are, your contact information, how you are Black-led, Black-serving, and Black-focused. Once you've created your profile, you'll have the opportunity to complete a grant application. The first page of the application is all about the details of your request, including your program name, amount requested, and geographic area of the impact for the project. The application continues on with some demographic questions and general descriptions of the grant initiative. The initiative description will serve to provide a succinct and high-level description of your project. As you can see, there's an example at the bottom of the text box. There will be similar examples and suggestions under other text box to provide context, suggestions, or instructions for the specific question. Given that the grants will be reviewed and scored by FFBC applicants just like you should respond to these questions in a way that would convince a reasonable person like yourself that the grant project is important for Black youth in Ontario. The application goes on to ask how your initiative will be Black-led, Black-focused, and Black-serving. As I said, FFBC takes a learning approach to defining these concepts. Your answers will have to be compelling to a group of your peers who are also interested in working directly with Black communities. Additionally, the description of the activities you will undertake as part of this project should demonstrate that you have considered how you will accomplish your goals and that the initiative is feasible given the time and budget requested in your grant. All unincorporated groups and individuals will be asked to confirm that they have an incorporated partner in place. If you do have a partner in place at the time of application, you'll be asked to fill in some key information about the incorporated partner. If you do not have one in place, you'll be required to confirm that you understand all unincorporated applicants will have to have an incorporated partner by October 1st, 2022, if their application is approved for funding. As part of the grant review process, staff will contact all unincorporated applicants whose application is being considered for funding to remind them of the incorporated partner requirement. At that point, if you're having difficulties finding an incorporated partner, FFB staff will provide you with appropriate support. In short, if your application is approved, FFB staff will ensure that an incorporated partner is not a barrier to being funded. In the final part of your application, you'll be able to use the provided templates to upload a work plan and a budget to provide further clarity around how you will deliver this project. Then end your application with some declarations. Here's a brief overview about how your profile and application will be assessed by FFB staff. Our goal is to send all eligible and feasible applications forward to the Community Grant Review Panel. FFBC staff will assess all profiles for completeness, alignment with FFBC eligibility and anti-discrimination policies, and the applicant's history or track record or reputation for serving Black communities. FFBC staff will assess all applications for completeness, eligibility, impact on Black communities, and feasibility. In other words, that there are reasonable activities and budget to complete the project successfully. After FFBC staff assessment, all feasible and eligible applications will be sent forward to the Community Grant Review Panel. And here on this slide are the criteria the Community Grant Review Panel will use to assess all applications. For each application, reviewers will be asked to consider the degree to which the proposed initiative will positively impact Black youth in Ontario, is led by and focused on Black communities, and is a priority for Black communities. An aggregate of all Community Grant Reviewer scores will be used to determine the list of successful applicants. Additionally, Community Grant Review Panel members will be asked to provide advice to applicants on how they might improve their applications to FFBC in the future. And finally, we get to step 3, become a grant reviewer. We ask that all FFBC applicants consider being a grant reviewer. Once we have received expressions of interest from potential grant reviewers, FFBC staff will place you in a review panel based on demand, geography, and the focus area of your work. Each review panel will review applications that best match their experiences and expertise. Each reviewer will be required to score up to 25 applications within a 2-week time frame in September 2022. More information will be made available via email in August. That's the end of this presentation. Please stay connected with our social media and website for updates about our future grants, opportunities, and other initiatives that FFBC will be working on. Additionally, you can visit our website for FAQs and more information on the Ontario Youth Wellness Grant. Thank you for watching this video, and please connect with us if you have any questions. Have a wonderful rest of your day.